Alright guys, I just removed the bumper. As you can see there, there's no more bumper. Again, I didn't want to spend too much time going through how to uninstall the bumper. I figure it's pretty easy for, I guess, maybe not a beginner, but who knows, I don't know. Okay guys, I removed their bumper. It is off. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. So now what I've done is I also, let me just pan her over here. It's this huge mess right now, but I removed this electrical bracket. I'm sorry, electrical harness from my bumper. And this is what connected the light. It had a connector pin here. And then it's got the ground and the positive wire that connects to the light where the bumper is. So I took that off. I think I figured I'd reuse this. I'll probably take off all these little clips right now. And then what I've got here is I've got the lights to the license plate. I'll kind of show how to put that on. But for right now, I'm going to take the red wire and the ground, black ground, and I'm going to connect it to this harness so that it can use it later when I install a license plate. So here's a license plate mount from Rebel Off-Road. Pretty nice option they have. I didn't know what to do with my license plate right now, so I went ahead and opted out for one of these. We'll see how it goes. I've never seen anybody with it on. So this will be cool. And then I've got the rear bumper, the Rebel Off-Road rear Summit bumper in here, and we're going to install that on there. It should be fairly easy. It's just a straight bolt-on. However, I didn't get my lights when I ordered the bumper, but this did come in the mail today as I was taking the bumper off. So I had a quick, you know, it was awesome, man. I got really excited. So I got the Baja Design Sport Squadrons. They'll act as my backup rear fog lights, so they're pretty badass. Yeah, so those are awesome. Can't wait to get those on. I got some in the front too, and they should look way better than the ones I have in the front. I think because maybe I have the combo here. But anyways, I'll get this wired up here too as well. So what I'm going to do now actually is I'm going to go ahead and open up the tailgate here, and then there's a plastic bolt that holds these lights in here, and you can remove the trim panel here to get access to it. Once I get there, I'll remove it carefully since it's a plastic fastener that holds us in there, and get these lights out so that I can install the fog lights when I get the rear bumper on. So cool stuff. Anyways, stay tuned. Okay guys, so I soldered these lights up like I said I was going to. I had them soldered up to the wiring harness that originally went to the tail, to the license plate light. And then I went to the mount, the Rebel Off-Road mount, and I noticed that I had to put these in first before I soldered. Yeah, so pretty tricky, huh? And I didn't know how else I'd get them in there without putting on my license plate first. So it kind of binds you into, hey, you need to commit now to put the license plate on here. And, you know, if you ever want to take this off, you'd have to pretty much, you know, cut the wire again, take these lights off just to get the license plate off, which kind of sucks. A little bummed out, but yeah, that's what happened, I guess. And then there's those two slots there to mount to the bumper, so I'll have to mount this on the bumper before I actually install it. But anyways, let me go ahead and solder these back up again. And they did give me a really cool license plate thing. I don't know if I should put it on or not. I think I should be okay without it for right now. But it's really cool. If you guys hit a like or subscribe to my small little channel, you know, I'll toss this out there, see if you guys want it. Alright, just real quick, just to kind of show you how I'm doing this. So, put those things through the mount. License plate's already on, lights are up there. You could put a washer here. While I was doing this, I was thinking of, it'd be nice to have like a little bracket here, maybe with the lights in that little bracket, but I don't got time for that right now. Anyways, so lights go, wires come out through here. Red's positive, your black is the ground. And so, of course, my soldering sucks, but soldered the red ones together to the white and blue, and I've got my ground here, and I've got my two grounds connected here, and I'm going to hook that on, and I'm going to solder that, and I'll shrink wrap over that and electrical tape it, and it should be good to go. So should have some good lights. I did check this out earlier and it did work without me having to put it on the mount, but alright, we'll see how it goes. Alright, I got it all here set up. Here's the existing license plate light harness, and then it goes into the license plate mount plates, the new ones that came with the mount. Let's go try it. Alright, let's see here. Oops. I'll set it down right here and connect it back up in here. Okay. And I need got my keys. Okay. Turn it on real quick. Give it a whirl. Hold on here. Put my keys next to it. Just a second. Alright, so that worked. Okay. So the license plate lights are on. What I'm going to do now is just disconnect this, and we'll try to get the other lights, the fog lights, on right now. Real easy. Okay. Alright, so I've got the fog lights for the rear bumper, and what it is, it comes with a little connector here, which is awesome, so that I can disconnect if I want to remove the rear bumper. And what I did is I connected it to the other harness it comes with. You can see here, here it accommodates you to plug into here, into another harness that goes to the battery and a switch. But what I'm going to do is actually, oh, and then this other side disconnects to the other light, so you've got one harness for both lights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here and just have the ground and the positive, and connect this straight to my tail light right there. And I'll kind of show, I'll do a small video on that, so you, right after this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, get this thing ready, and pull that light out, and go ahead and splice connect these two. Alright, so I just took the tail light off, or the tail light off. So this is the T40 screw you'll need to take off. Take it out here. Actually, this cap was on. Right here, you just pop it off with a screwdriver. Comes right off. And it'll expose you to this screw right here. After you take that out, it unscrews from right there, so it just pops off. Alright guys, so I've got the tail light off. This is the connector you detach from the tail. I'll show you from here. So it just came out from right here. I already ran my fog light wires through here, and it's through a small opening right there in the corner. And I'm thinking maybe do a T-cap connector. I was thinking about soldering them, but I might try the T-cap connector or the splice connector first, see how that goes. So I kind of left it in there because this is a little bulky. So I'll splice it from right here, and then let me go over here back to the tail light. So if you go from the bulb here, you've got your purple and your orange wire, and it goes all the way back to the connector. So those are the two wires that you're going to need. The purple is the ground, and the orange is the positive. So I'll just cut back some tape here, and then I'll make a connection to where we can splice into there. Okay guys, so I took those splice connectors, and basically here's how it went. The orange, you can see the orange there, is right there, and then here's the positive, and then you've got the purple with the ground, and you just set that metal piece into there. It splices both the wires, connects this wire there, making a connection, and then you clamp these down, and that's it. So what I want to do before I say it's all good, I'm going to connect this back up. I'm going to go ahead and put the light on there and just test out the light to make sure that it's working. And if it works, you know, this is a pretty easy and cheap way to, you know, put your lights together without having to solder or cut into them. All right. Alright, so that worked. What I'm going to do is go ahead and unconnect the fog light to the tail light. I'm going to mount the fog lights to the bumper. I'm going to go ahead and put the tail light back on, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Okay guys, so the wiring for the lights are done. I was about to mount the license plate mount to the bumper, which is right here. And you can see it's got two provisions for mounting holes. But then I come over to the bumper, and there ain't no mounting holes anywhere. I don't see any. Jesus, it's a nice bumper. I hate to drill right into it. That sucks. So I'm gonna think about this. Probably going to drill some holes in the bumper and then put the mount on, or take out the license plate and try to mount it somewhere else. But I need a license plate. And lights. I'd hate to drill into this new bumper. It sucks. Okay, well, that might just have to be the case. Anyways, let me start drilling. Okay guys, so I've got the bumper on. Kind of pushed up into this position, held by this chair. The lights are in. It was kind of hard finagling these things into place. Just because, you know, it's kind of this cutout's at an angle, so you kind of have to figure out where position you want to set your lights at. But that looks pretty good for right now. I'll test them out when I get in there. I'll have to tweak them if I can. But yeah, let me just show you real quick here. So let me see. Okay, so you can kind of see in there, there's 2 bolts. I'm using existing bolts that I use with the stock bumper. You put those 2 bolts in there, one on the bottom, one on the top, and then you've got 2 bolts on the bottom to mount here. Now this is a little tough. You do need 2 people to actually do this, so luckily enough this chair is my second person, and it's kind of holding up right now as we're talking. So I'll get the other 4 bolts on this side, and then hopefully I'll tighten this up, and then I'll put the lights together. There's a light harness dangling here. I'll connect up in here. I think I'm gonna route it right through this little hole because it fits over there to the other side. But yeah, I'll let you know. All right, moment of truth. Works. So tomorrow I will try to put on the license plate, and we'll see how we do that, and kind of tidy up the wires. So anyways, cool, thanks. Okay guys, so I was thinking about how I'm going to do this. So what I did is I put the trim on here, the rubber trim. That way when it makes contact with the vehicle, it doesn't scrape at the vehicle. So what I'm going to do, since I already have these lights plugged in with the license plate, I'm just going to unscrew these, draw a template of where those slot holes are to mount this to the bumper. And then I'm going to drill into this bumper, and then kind of clean it up and touch up paint, and then it should look kind of as you see it right now. But yeah, I'll take these off here, remove this so I can see the inside. This is kind of banked. This is banked up against the vehicle where it needs. The door swings out the way it should, so it's not going to make any interference there. So yeah, once I get those holes drilled out on the bottom of this mount, I'll kind of show you how it looks. So there's the holes I drilled out. Obviously, I suck at drilling holes because I always end up making a hole either too big, or I second guess myself on where the position of the hole is. So yeah, I end up, you know, kind of cutting a little bit more than I should. I was second guessing myself there, but it actually ended up pretty good. The other hole came out real nice once I got the first hole going. But since this is pretty close to the body of the Jeep, you know, I was kind of lazy. I didn't want to take the bumper off because it was kind of hard for me to get it on by myself. I did have to remove this light just to give me some more room for this hole. And this hole, it really didn't matter too much, but I kind of drilled it slightly at an angle. So both of these are not perfectly straight down in, but, oh man. I mean, it came out pretty good. I test fitted the license plate mount fits pretty nice. So right now I'll just cover this with some paint, and then let it dry for a while, and then we'll mount the license plate mount up and wire it up. If you guys are wondering, this is what I'm going to be using. I would prefer like more of a matte black, but this is what I have with me right now. This should work, and plus you're not going to be able to see these holes once the plate's on, but this is what I'll be using just in case y'all wondering. Alright guys, so got the license plate put on there. I had some old screws for the bottom here. It comes with the hardware to mount the license plate mount to the bumper, but yeah, these are a little tough to get in there with a socket. So I did get some lock washers. Got some lock washers. They're about 5/16, and I got some. Oh, where's it? I got some nuts. It just might be easier for me to actually put my hand in there because everything's you kind of have to snug everything up before you actually install the mount to the bumper. So yeah, snug these up here. Put these in first, and then snug those up. So now I gotta do is just, what I'm gonna do is put the screws in here like so. Oh, like so, and then just plop it down in there, and then I'm gonna fit my hand up into the bumper and put on the nut and lock washer. You can use these like nylon Loctite nuts. They're probably a little better, but just a little harder for me to actually get something in there. Who knows? I might switch these out. I'm not too sure. I haven't really got in there yet. So, all right, we'll check it out right now. All right, so tried a couple things here. Get the light on there. Dang it, come on. All right, so tried a couple of things there. Lock washer and hex nut was the best, as if you're keeping your bumper on without taking it off after you drill. So I'd suggest you take the bumper off and put on the desired hardware, but for me, this will do. Lock washer and hex nut should do just to hold license plate mount for now. Okay guys, there it is. Snugged it up pretty good. It was a little tricky putting my hand through the bumper and trying to get this thing mounted, but you know, with some tape, holding the washers together with the nut, and then putting it up there and then undoing the tape, worked out pretty well. It was pretty difficult, so would recommend you take the bumper off to install the license plate mount. That was my initial plan. But again, the bumper didn't come pre-drilled for the license plate mount. So anyways, I'm gonna get the spare tire on, and I've already cleaned up the wires as I was down there, and we'll take a look at it. Hey everybody, so got the bumper on. We were gonna do a test on the bumper. Obviously it works, but I'll show that test here at the end of the video. However, we couldn't get the stock tire on the Jeep with the stock tire carrier. So, Daddy had to get a new tire carrier. Anyway, so I'm going to install a new tire carrier on here. Should be really cool. I looked and researched on several different tire carriers. And I wanted something where I could upgrade to a 35 later. This is a Jeep JL Sport. End up getting the Rubicon tires off somebody for fairly cheap. So I've got the Rubicon stock tires on here, which are about 31, 33s. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see what kind of tire carrier I get. Alright, so I ordered a tire carrier. I went with the Smittybilt HD pivot. And the reason why I went with that one is because I can't mount a tire carrier to the bumper. So it had to be a hinge, either hinge or kind of like a swing gate tire carrier. I went with the hinge one just because they're readily available. I don't have to do any more drilling or installing anything else. It's pretty much just taking off the hinges and you know, putting on the new tire carrier where the existing holes are. So that's what I did. I got the Smittybilt HD pivot tire carrier, and it's coming today. But while I'm waiting for it in the mail to be delivered, I was going to disconnect the old one. So what I'll do here is I'll pop this down, pop it out this way, get the camera, and then pretty much unbolt here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. Then I'll come around here, take out the trim panel here, disconnect the wires that are in here for the camera and the brake light, and then I will bring this grommet through here, pull the wires out, pull this whole thing off, and then I'll disassemble this and kind of clean up this area here and get ready to for the new tire carrier. But yeah, just kind of a preview. I've already kind of removed this trim panel. It's real easy. You just kind of, there's a little tab here you just kind of push in, and this whole thing came out. And the reason why I removed that is because I'm going to have to remove this trim panel here. I've got a 2-door, so you know, when I remove this, I don't want this to get in the way of here, so this was pretty easy to take off. But then we'll get a bit behind here and we'll kind of show what it looks like there, just to get to the hinges, to disconnect these ones, uninstall those, and then put in the new one. All right. All right, everybody. I removed the panel here, so you can see it's off. So everything's connected to, you know, these kind of push-in connectors, and there's some other push-in different types. So it's just kind of simply take off the seat belt trim first before you pull this out. Take out the trim for the bolts under here. That way you can remove this area here and also take this off. So I use the T40 bit that comes with the Jeep. Take everything else off. Move that to the side. And then once you pop that off, you've got access to your hinges. So I'll remove the tape here. There's one here and one here, and you get access to your tailgate hinges. So we can work on that one once we get the tailgate in. Okay, so just gonna show you, I am taking off these stickers, and so I got this little brochure. It came in a bag just to hold my stickers where the hinges go. What I'm doing, I'm just using a razor, kind of going on the corners, top left corner, razoring it in, and kind of slowly, gently peeling it away without tearing it or cracking it. And it's pretty thick enough to where you can kind of pull it off and reuse it again. So I'd like to see if I can reuse these, and you know, maybe spray a little, I don't know, something on there or maybe it'll stick with the adhesive that is still on there. I'm trying to reuse these. So you can see there, put the razor blade in the corner, and I'll just kind of slowly peel away this way and that way at the same time. I might have some trouble here. It looks like it's almost binded up pretty good, but shouldn't be too bad. I've seen some other videos where they've precaution about taking this one off, just because it's a little harder. There's more stuff around it. You have to maneuver your way off of it. So we'll see. Let's try to take this one off. Okay, so I was able to take it off. It looks like this was just some paint buildup here. Came off pretty smoothly. There is some adhesive that's missing on here. Oh, actually no. The adhesive is on there, it's just the paint. But looks pretty good, and I will reuse these when it comes time to. And these are pretty good. Alright, trim panels off the back of the tailgate. Real easy, just put a pry bar in there, pop them off. Real nice and easy. Remember, don't do it too hard or too fast, because you know you don't want to break any of those little connectors. Looks like I still got one in here, or there might be, yeah, could be still in there. And then you disconnect your tail light, your third brake light, and your not your tail light, your third brake light and your camera. Disconnect those, put them over to the side. And what we'll do is we'll just pull them out through here to the grommet, and we'll get this baby off right now. Alright, so T25 for these two, 1/2 inch socket for these 8. I'll take those off, and I've kind of pushed these in just a little bit. Seems like it's pretty stuck on there, so we'll have to see. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off and see what it looks like behind there. Alright, we got it off. There it is, sitting there. And we'll clean this up, and we'll turn this baby around, and we'll try to look at what's going on, why these are so stuck up in there, and then we'll try to pull this out. The 1, 2, 3, and the camera. There's a plate on there, kind of looks like a Y. It needs to come out with the assembly, and we'll pull the wires away from this other assembly for the brake light. Alright, wow. So I cleaned it up. Looks really nice cleaned up. I almost was really wanting to get the backpack that Rebel Off-Road offers, because you can put 2 rotopacks of water or 2 rotopacks of gasoline in there. And you know, once I start taking this out on the trail, I wanted to have that option to have it on there. But you kind of need a spare tire in case, you know, one of your other tires gets flat. So yeah, I kind of chose a spare tire over the backpack, which is awesome. It's pretty sweet. Another thing is my wife was complaining about me not having a spare tire on there too, so yeah, I need a spare tire, and having a 2-door Jeep, it's a little hard to do. I mean, there's tons of space in there to actually put the spare tire, but I do use this as my daily driver, and I'm hauling my kids around, you know, to school and daycare, and so I'd rather have my kids in there than a spare tire. But anyways, looks pretty good, nice cleaned up. I really like, I don't know why, but I just love these little like vents, flaps. You know, I don't know why, it was cool. I was blowing air through the inside and seeing these things flap around, and it just looks kind of cool. But anyways, now it's cleaned up, I'm gonna go turn this baby upside down. Actually, probably can do it right now. And what I want to get out is that this plate here, but it's pretty much stuck on there, and I heard there's kind of like an adhesive back there, so I might use a pry bar, try to pry it on this side. Looks like the bottom one looks pretty good. I just don't want to damage it too much. Oh yeah, there's actually a metal plate that holds the lug nuts on there, and then the plastic one. So I think I just need, I'm not too sure. I'll have to look at the instructions when they come in. But anyways, take that out. Take out this wire. open this thing up, the wire out, and get the brake light out of there. Alright, so I was able to pry this away from the stock tire carrier. What I had to do is I just kind of punched these a little bit out. These were kind of binded up in there pretty good, and not too sure if you can see that, but yeah, kind of got it up right there. But you know, luckily this metal plate here has the threadings you need for the fasteners to reuse the fasteners to hook this back on. So hopefully that works well. And then the rest of it, just pulling it off. Like I said, you're gonna need your T25 Torx bit to pull all the bracketry off to get to this wire. And real simple, take these two screws off here and you got your brake light. So now we're just waiting for, got that to the side, and we're just waiting for our tailgate to come in. Hopefully it comes in today so I can finish this video, but if not, we might have to wait till another day to actually shoot the rest of this. Move that in there. Should leave my tools in the vehicle. I did use a hair dryer a little bit just to heat up the area around here in case there was any adhesive sticking. But like I said, I just used that used a punch, which looks like this, and you know, just kind of knocked it with a hammer real quick, and boom, came out real easy. Alright guys, it's here. Got this last night around 8 o'clock. Was waiting pretty much all day Saturday for it to come in, but came in last night late. I was ready to get my kids in bed, so got it in the garage here this morning. I filled up the spare tire with air so that when I mount it and start positioning it, that it will you know, fit the way I want it, with it inflated to where I need it to be. What else? Oh, I took the back seat out. So I know I had it in there yesterday, but I took it out today just because I need to get access to the hinges in here, and the only way I can do that with the tailgate closed is to go through the passenger door here and kind of get my body in there and fix up the hinges while the door is in place. So I had to take the back seat out for that. So I was planning to leave it in there, but yeah, without taking it out, I'd be going in and out of this window, and I don't really want to do that. So it's easier for me to just take the back seat out and go through the passenger door while I'm getting the hinges on. So I'm gonna unbox this thing right now, make sure all the pieces are there, and then probably look at the instructions, because I think I'm pretty good. I just have to unbolt the hinges while this thing is closed. We're gonna add some painter's tape to the what do you call these, like little creases where the door meets up with the body of the Jeep. We'll just add some painter's tape here, and here, maybe just a little bit on the bottom to see, you know, make sure everything kind of stays where it needs to be. Try to get it aligned as much as possible when we put in the new tire carrier hinge. So alright, let me open this box up. Okay everybody, so unpackaged the tire carrier, went through the hardware. Looks like we got all the hardware packaging. What I ended up doing is going through the instructions. So I forgot to remove the tail light, so I removed the tail light because I do have to access in where the hinges are. And then so I'm going to get ready to unbolt this. You need a Torx 55 according to the instructions to release these. In previous other videos I've seen people having trouble because of the paint that's on there, so I might have to you know, push the Torx 55 in there, maybe with a dead blow, or just kind of hammer it a little bit. That way it kind of breaks some of this paint off to get a rotational torque on this. And then in the inside here where the hinges are, I was making sure that I had the socket that I needed for it, and it calls out for a Torx. What is it called out? Let's check the paper here. Yeah, it's calling out another Torx 55 socket. I don't have one, but I checked some of my other sockets, and a 13 millimeter. Oh, there it is, 13 millimeter. I must have went further down in the page. Okay, so yeah, 13 millimeter is what will take those off. Okay. All right, well, now that that's I taped it up pretty good. I taped it up pretty, fairly decent. So you don't see any wrinkles right now, but I'm pretty sure once we unbolt the hinges here, we'll see some wrinkles. So take the hinges off, painter tape here. I've got one here, a large one here, and what I ended up doing is I got these like shims. I had these left over after a flooring project I did, and right here where the holes are at, these large holes, the openings where the bump stops were at, I kind of stuck these in here because I wanted to gauge where I was at, and I drew a line here. That way when I put the hinges back on, or the new tire carrier on, I can kind of just go in there and see where I'm at. If I need to adjust, I can adjust accordingly. So kind of just drew a line right there. So one's for this side here, and the other one I have here, and you can stick it in there and kind of see where my line's at. So as long as I'm there, I should be fine. But again, I just did this to see what happens. I'm not too sure if this will work or not, but we're gonna give it a try. All right, now I'm gonna unbolt the hinges. All right, so the hinges are off. When I was pulling out the bolts from here, actually this one kind of stuck a little bit, and was coming out this way. It brought the door out a little bit, so the tape came off. I just pushed it back where it was. I kind of checked it with my shim here, and we're pretty close to where we were at before, so I'm not going to worry about this tape totally came off. But this one held in pretty well. Nothing really happened over here on this side. Pretty much the latches latched up here, but this one was pretty good. Unfortunately, this side came loose, so we'll kind of have to see, once we put it up there, how everything is going to fit up, and have to do some adjustments. You see that tape's all messed up there. But yeah, pretty easy there. Not too sure if you can see, but here, let me get my little kitty light. And the bolts, the nut flanges are welded in here, or adhered in here pretty well. So I thought I had to take these off, but no, those stay in there. So, all right, we're going to the next step here. Okay, so the next step is to put the tire carrier hinge bracket on there, and I had kind of loosely finger tightened these, and I saw this hole open there, and I've got a package here. I didn't know what it was, and they've got these little rubber grommets here that you can actually stick in there to close the hole. So I'm just going to loosely untighten this again, take that off, and put the rubber grommets in those holes where the bump stops were at. But I was looking for some kind of spacer back here, but I don't think we have a spacer, which is it's not calling it out in the instructions. In my head, I was like, oh, okay, it's just gonna be snug right against the back of the tailgate here. But yeah, so I'm gonna take this out again, put these in there, and then bolt these in, finger tighten, and then in the hinge on the inside of the vehicle, I will put in I'll finger tighten the bolts that I took out to remove the old hinges. Okay, so got got the hinge on there. I had my wife come out here and help me while I was pushing against the gate, and also lifting it a little bit because this door tends to sag down this way since it's just holding on to that, so it's acting as a cantilever. So all the weight is being pushed down this way and out towards you. So yeah, just push it in and then bring it up. And what I used was a level. Where's my level at? I'm gonna show you. Oh, here it is. Used a level, so what it is, I put it in the center here. And I just got it level as much as I could. You can kind of see there. And I checked this before I actually did this, so it was level to where it was at. And I did check here, and it's pretty level. It's not as level as I want it to be, but we'll try it out. And it's because I had to bolt this down a little bit, and I just couldn't figure out where the hell this was going while trying to level this at the same time. So I figured I should have leveled this first and then leveled that, but you know, either way I think it would work, but let's hope for the best. So I'm gonna take the painter's tape off now. Side damping, and I'm gonna test it and see how it actually works. So put it here for right now. There. Move this out of the way. And just put that right here for right now. Move that in the way. Alright. I did check my shim, and the shim doesn't look like it was supposed to be. See, it goes in a little further than what it should, but it's kind of right there on the cusp where I made the mark. So hopefully that works out. Let me check this side real quick. So here's that shim where the dots are at. And that kind of goes in a little further than it should, but I don't know. This was pretty tough, so let's try it out here. Oh, let me take this piece of tape off. Alright, here we go. Very nice. Let's go back a little bit. Alright, so it's holding tailgate with those 4 screws right now. And then the inside. Okay, let's see if it closes with a moment of truth. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so no binding, no. I don't see anything. I have to. Oh, let me put my window down. Let me see. Let's see here. That would be a good idea, huh? Okay. Let's close it. Make sure everything closes together. Oh yeah, shut up. It's hit that gasket pretty nicely. Okay, not bad. Good gapping there. Everything looks pretty good. Yeah, pretty nice. What I did with this here is what I was doing is I was shifting this to where I can actually line up these holes center. That way, because before it was like kind of cocked down, and I wouldn't be able to get a bolt in there, so I had to put these up. So that was another reason why I didn't really measure this one too much. Oh, and then in the inside where the hinges are at. So I had my wife just torque down this one first once I got in position, and I just had her torque this one as well too, and it stayed in place. And then she went back to the kids, and I pretty much got all 3 of these down with a torque wrench, and it requires you 23 foot-pounds of torque to torque these on here. So if you have a torque wrench, that'd be great to use for this installation, because you'll need it for these, just to make sure that everything's in there nice and neat. Alright, let me put in the rest of the installation, see what's next. Okay, so install this extra support bracket in here. Use some flange serrated washers or nuts that just go right here. There's about 6 of them. Okay, once you've done that, what the instructions are telling me is to mount the camera housing, the lug bracket, into the, what is it called? The new camera housing. I guess is what I'll call it. But I've got my T25 bolt here. And real simple, just put what I disassembled on the old stock tire carrier, and just plug it in and put in the screws, the T25 screws here. So I'll do that right now, and then we can move on. We'll set this aside and we'll move on to just like installing the tire carrier mount plate with the bolt brackets here. Install the tire carrier mount to the tailgate, use OE hardware. Okay, so we'll do that. And this here. Okay. Alright, so torque these bolts up pretty tight. They're M10s, so I torqued those to, what was it again? I think it was 32 foot-pound, according to the instructions. And then these ones here, they're close to an M8. They're an 8.8, grade 8.8. I just torqued them to 18 to 20 foot-pounds. But got all those in. I made sure it was level on top when I put this plate on there, so it's good. What I did now is I put the wheel mount bracket on there, and what I did is I measured. Well, I've got a 33-inch tire right now, and it says that for the tire height you divide it by 2, so 33 divided by 2 is 16.15, and then it says to add 4 inches to that, so then you get 20.15, and you measure from the bottom of your bumper to the top of this bracket here. And what I did, since it was around 20.15, I measured from here to here about 21 inches. So that set me at that position right there. So we'll try it out there. If I need to go higher, I can go up another bolt hole and bring it up a little higher, but I kind of want to see out of my window, so I don't want to put it up too high. I did end up bringing the brackets on the inside of that tailgate mount there, bracket mount, all the way to the top. So that should be fine right there, and I can just adjust this front one here. But okay, I'm going to torque these down, these 4 bolts in here. So it comes with, it's four nuts, and then 4 washers, and it's 55 foot-pound. So I'll torque these up, get that set up, and then we'll move on. Alright, so the nuts are torqued to 55 foot-pound. So what I did is I just wanted to make sure I double-checked. I just kind of put the old stock tire carrier on here where the bolts kind of line up, and it's already way, you can kind of see that's way above where, you know, the original tire carrier was, and I needed at least 1.5 inches more clearance to clear this high bumper here. So that's going to be set well way above. I might have, you know, maybe 2 or 3 inches of clearance there, so that should be fine. There's Moon Piggy. Moon Piggy. You good girl. Yeah. So got that on there, and looks pretty good. Everything's pretty stout. I can do another test here. Move this out of the way. And this was I used a 3/4 inch socket for this. So, oh man, it's beautiful. Real nice. I'm afraid when I get the tire in there, this thing's gonna sag a little bit more. So I might have to do some more fine tuning, but I'm hoping, you know, I've got everything dialed in the way it needs to be. I should have, you know, maybe pulled that tailgate up a little bit, but if in the event I can't close the tailgate with the tire on there, then what I'll do is I'll adjust the hinge latch over here. I'll just move it down a small bit. So, so nice so far. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I test fit the tire. Looks good. So what I did is I pretty much followed these instructions here. It comes with it all. So I measured the back spacing with a straight edge. I used a 2x4, which is not really a straight edge, but you know, I just kind of get an idea what my back spacing is. But I got about 7 2/8 of an inch of back spacing, and then I adjusted the camera mount with the tire lug nuts in it. So it's telling you here from the distance of the back there to the face of the where the lug nuts kind of come out. Sorry, lug bolts, but you really can't measure from there. You can also tilt this if you need to, if you're running, you know, your fast back, or you have the top off. In my case, it's just going to be straight up and down. But let me take you over here. So I measured that 7 2/8 of an inch on the face of this plate, which is this thing here, face there, all the way to the back. I don't know if you can see it here, but to the back of this, and to the pretty much right here, this edge. And you can see it's hitting the tire. If I lay this thing straight, you'll see that it's hitting the tire. So right now it's kind of crooked, but once I lay it straight, it hits it right against that bracket. Same thing on the other side. You see that other bracket over there at the end. So look, let me push this up. Push this in. It's a little hard to do, but it snugs up right against there. Swivels there, and it might be pushed out a little bit, but that's perfect spot for mine. And then, you know, I can tell here, if I go to the front, I've got good clearance underneath here. Like I said, about 2-3 inches, and it's good because you can actually see the Rebel nameplate. Gives me some inch there, so not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a good spot for right now. I think you should be able to see out the top for sure. Maybe not, I don't know, we'll kind of see. I do have that spider web shade here, and you know, it just kind of tints the back window even more, but I should be able to see through there. Alright, let me get this thing bolted, take the tire out, and kind of show you what it looks like, how I positioned it there. Alright, so here it is. Here's the bracket. I positioned on the 3rd hole back and the bottom 2, and I just kind of threw the brake light over right now. So I'll tighten this down, and again it was, let's see here. Get the measuring tape here. You know, from here to here. So let me see if I can get. It is a little bit shorter. If I try to just go, oh, you know what? It kind of comes right here. Yeah, so it's a little bit shorter from what the back spacing is, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell, especially with this little bracket here. But that gave me a good indication. If I go any more further back to get to the 7 2/8, this ends up actually tilting at an angle. This is the last hole I can actually hit, so that should be fine. Alright guys, so put the electrical back in through the opening it in the front of the tailgate, connected the brake light and the camera. So this one and this one. Fit it through right there. Pop that back in. And what I did is I fed this through this opening here, so it's just not dangling down here. So fed that through that opening. And then I got my cable coming out the middle triangle here, the top middle, for my brake light. And for a while I was kind of wondering, it comes with some brake light hardware. I was kind of wondering how it fits together, because in the instructions it doesn't really tell you. It just has a picture of all the hardware in the front, which kind of shows it right there. So I wasn't too sure how that actually goes in. And it looks like it comes with some bolts right there. And it almost looks like these go in first before the actual mounting bracket to the taillight. So I got that piece there. This one and this one. All three of these you'll need. Not too sure what these tabs were. I just kind of left them out. This is 14, which is light mount clips, but I really don't know if I need these or not, because I was able to fit this bracket on top of here. This is kind of what I have here. So disconnected the electrical harness here, mounted it using the OEM bolts for here, and you can see this bracket is one piece, and here's the bottom bracket, the top and bottom bracket, and then it comes with, there's some extra hardware in the hardware box, and I was wondering where most of it went. So I'm assuming these here go here. So you got a bolt, 2 washers, and a nut on each side. And then this is what actually attaches to your lug bolts, which is right there. You can kind of see it. And these, I think they go in first, which is kind of weird. But when I looked at the lug bolts here they are. So they've got a threaded inner diameter here, and it's also threaded here. So these obviously go in, and I'm thinking that maybe you use another bolt. Let's bolt that out, because this is like, I don't know, I was thinking of going this way, but I don't know, we'll see when we get it up there. See what it looks like. So anyways, got that on. That's all snugged up here from the measurements we took. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close this door, put the tire on there, bolt the tire back on, and then start getting this brake light in there to finish it up. Alright, so got the tire up there. Looks pretty nice. Got these really nice lug nuts in there, so they're extended out. So with the stock rim for the Rubicon, I mean, it's working out pretty nicely. I guess if you have a different type of wheel, it might, I don't know. This should work. I would think this would be used for anything here. And then it's real nice here, since I have this opening in the middle, the brake light harness comes right through the middle here. Kind of see it right there, coming out the middle there. Real easy, just kind of put my hand in there. So I'll put this to the side, and then I found these bolts that were in a hardware bag right here. They come with washers too, so it's in the Dash 04. And this was the rest of the hardware to fit the brake light bracket. So these go right in here, and they screw on perfectly. So that's where I put the bracket. And after that, should be ready to go. I'll clean it up, put all the trim back on, and we'll test it out. Alright guys, so there it is. There's the brake light. What I had to reverse this just because this was sticking out way too far. So I didn't want anything, you know, just in case it hit something or whatever, to be sticking out. It was probably about right here. So I ended up flipping the bottom bracket and getting it pretty much not too close, but as close as I could here. And tightened these, made it, leveled this out as best as I could. And then I put my lock lug here, so looks pretty good. I did try to open it, and you can definitely tell how heavy it is. But man, closes like a charm. And this is sitting right on those brackets. Like I said, you can see them in there. Real nice. So that's what's kind of keeping it from, you know, moving around too much. But these are also, you know, keeping it there as well. So hopefully we'll test it, we'll drive it around and see everything. So it's not really touching anything here anymore. So, you know, but I'm moving it enough to where it's not even, you know, shaking. So pretty good. I like it. There's the wire coming out of there. So not bad. I'll put the covers on there. Right there. Still got them here. And put the tail light, or yeah, the passenger light back on here. All right, guys. This. Oh, okay. I hit the reverse. Hey, put in reverse. Yeah, put in reverse. Oh yeah, I like those lights. God damn, I can't even see it. Oh, let me see if I can zoom out here. It's pretty bright, you know. You can definitely tell. But there it is, man. Okay, we're good. Just gonna get a close up here. It's snowy out here. There's lights in. Fog lights. Cool, thanks, Joey. Alright, YouTube, well, there you have it. Rear bumper install and Smittybilt HD pivot tire carrier. You know, pretty good buys. I think I really dig it. I've driven it many times. I think the only issue I had was with the license plate. That I put it too close to the body frame of the Jeep, and it was rubbing like hell for the first couple of weeks, and then finally, you know, it rubbed so much that it kind of grooved itself in. So, just word to the wise, I guess, if you do end up getting one of those mounts, just maybe give it, you know, some tolerance away from the body. That way it has moved to wiggle, because the bumper does flex, and you know, it will, since it's the license plate mount is mounted to the bumper. You know, it causes some rubbing. So, but it's cool. It's because they gave us a little trim, but still, trim rubs on the a little rubber trim rubs against the body. But hey, what can you say? It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice install, pretty nice build. There was a little headache every once in a while, but what can you expect when you're, you know, trying to do everything yourself and don't have that many tools and stuff? But it was good. Tire carrier is awesome. Holds the tire perfectly. I can get my groceries. I can put stuff back there, in and out, like the breeze. It actually feels a lot more sturdier than it did before. So it's pretty good stuff. The lights work awesome when I'm reversing. My God, I can see tons of stuff behind me now. So, you know, very good products. I recommend them. If you have any questions or comments, you know, you can leave them below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. The next video I'm going to try to do, I know I mentioned maybe doing a walk around of some of the upgrades I've done. I do have some KC headlights that I'm going to install. Probably do a, I know there's some pretty nice videos on that, but I'll just do my own version of how I installed it. And then and then tomorrow I should be getting in a American Adventure Lab tailgate table, which is awesome because I've been waiting since last summer to get one. I think they had some issues where they were due to COVID, you know, there were some issues where they weren't able to fulfill all the orders. It was based on, you know, how many people can they actually get to purchase that item. But anyways, I'll have an upcoming video on that. So stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope, this is a very long video. I didn't realize how long it was, and I'm probably making it even longer now, but you know, I hope to put some more content up here, and if you guys have any other things or any ideas that of me doing, I will still be upgrading my Jeep as I go along, and then eventually being taken out here in the Colorado range here. So y'all stay safe and protect yourself at all times because of all that COVID. So peace out.